Now you can see the growth of the primordial follicle, which we initially saw in the diagram, that the primordial follicle, these smaller size are on the peripheral region. So under the influence of FSH, can you recall the FSH which is being secreted by the anterior pituitary and being commanded by the hypothalamus gonadotropin releasing hormone that acts on pituitary, and pituitary is going to secrete the FSH and LH. So under the influence of FSH, this oocyte, or you would say this is the immature primordial follicle. It consists of this cell body oocyte with the eccentrically located nucleus having the prominent nucleolus inside, and this is showing finely dispersed chromatin in it. Rest of the organelle is definitely mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, rough endoplasmic reticulum, and lysosomes all are also present inside. Now you can see that it's being surrounded by yellowish, you can see the layer of a cell. These are called as follicular cells. These follicular cells are also later on called as granulosa cell. So don't forget that the term granulosa cell or follicular cell can be used simultaneously. They are made up of, follicular cells are made up of simple squamous, or rather you would say low cuboidal shape follicular squamous shape cells consisting of a single layer of cells is around. Now you can see there is another thing. The stromal cells are present around this follicular cells. What are stromal cells? Basically, stromal cells come again towards this diagram. We mentioned that the cortex of the ovary is covered with the, or rather is having the dense irregular connective tissue. So this connective tissue is well laden with the cells which you label it as stromal cell. These stromal cells, now you have to focus, they are on its outer side. So the three things, or the three game is running. The oocyte that has to also change its size at when it is primordial follicle, its size is just near 30 micrometer. Some books write 20 to 25. Then there is the second thing is the follicular cells that are single layer of a cell, squamous in shape. Then you enter into the third cell, which are stromal cells called, these are the dense irregular connective tissue cortical cells. So keep in mind. Now we have to move that it is growing under the influence of FSH. Initial, you would say that follicular growth is initiated by FSH. Later on, you would say what next is going to be there. We can see in the next layer now this oocyte now having the follicular cells which are consisting of still single layer of cells, simple epithelium, but the cells are now becoming simple cuboidal. So they are forming a unilamellar follicular layer around the oocyte, and there is very well marked basal membrane, basement membrane or basal lamina that separate these follicle cells from the this stromal cells. So this should be an important landmark here. Now the cell size is increased in this unilamellar primary follicle. Now again you have to concentrate that still it is a primary follicle, but what is going to happen here in the follicular layer or granulosa cell layer, there is a stratification, and now there is a multilaminar layer that has come into action, you would say, or it is being produced. And you can see they are encircling the oocyte. There is another important thing, amorphous homogeneous glycoproteinic layer is there in between the oocyte and the granulosa or follicular cell. This is known as zona pellucida. Now you can see that not here, I would show you some other diagram that the oocyte is also giving rise to some microvilli towards that follicular cells, and follicular cells have got philopodia that will be towards the oocyte to communicate with each other through this zona pellucida. They can communicate in a sense. And it's been written that they are definitely cells are having the junctional complexes in between them, but the basal layer cells are not showing any strong junctional complexes because there is no need of this blood follicular barrier, because the blood contents and macromolecules are very much mandatory for the growth of the oocyte and the follicle. So there is no need of, again I am saying, the blood follicular barrier is not required, which is rather a hallmark we will see in the testes. We will discuss this later on. So now, after entering towards the next progressive stage, you call it as the secondary follicle. Now, you are not looking that this oocyte is pushed towards the periphery, towards one side, with the growth of these follicular cells. How? There is a small space has produced, and finally they will coalesce, they will join to each other to form a large cavity you will label later on as a antrum. Here, when this shape is there, that the granulosa cell, they are going to produce inner space and produce a fluid inside called as liquor folliculi. This is present in between it, pushing this oocyte on the one side. And now you would see that what next is happening. Simultaneously, after this antral or follicular or secondary follicle, what is going to happen, that on its outer stromal cell, they are also forming a layer called as theca layer, theca externa and theca interna. There are two layers you would observe. Theca externa consisting of the collagen reticular fibers and fibroblast like cell, and theca interna definitely are having the secretory cuboidal cells, and they are to produce the hormone. You would later on see what it is going to produce. It means that the oocyte is also changing its position. These granulosa or follicular cells are also arranged themselves in a sense that now if you consider it as a tertiary and mature follicle, it is also called as pre-ovulatory because it has not yet passes through the stage of ovulation. We see it as a Graafian follicle, the name being given by the probably would be by the scientist, the Graafian. So see the granulosa cell that are margining themselves along this inner side of the cavity. You will see them as this a layer. You call it as granulosa cell, and they are forming the membrana granulosa. And then you see the cells that are arranged themselves on the margin as a rays. They are called, these granulosa cells are called as corona radiata. And there is a heap of cell on which they are sitting as a chair like, or a collection of this granulosa cell on which it is sitting. These cells are called as cumulus ophorus. So get familiar with the term. These are cumulus ophorus, these are the corona radiata, and these are the granulosa cell forming the membrana granulosa or striatum granulosa.